But Ashley was originally the speaker, but of course she had baby Macklin. So congratulations to Ashley for the arrival of Mac, and just he is adorable and so excited that he's here and excited to be here with all of you guys tonight. So before we get started with our topic, which I'm really excited about, a couple of one announcement really. Let's see. Oh no. Okay. I guess we have a limit of 100. Great. Okay, anyways. Team Cup. If you are not already on a Team Cup team, make sure that you get on one and get excited about that. I know last year was my first time doing Team Cup, and it is to date the absolute highest Success Club points best month that I ever had, because I feel like I was running with a team. You had the accountability. You don't want to be the one person that doesn't hit SC 5 or 10 to get the gift or whatever. And then it just gives people an opportunity to step up as a leader and just have that community camaraderie, accountability together. So if you're not a part of a Team Cup team, like pop in Coach Family, comment on there. People are still like looking for people or putting teams together. So take the initiative to be a part of that. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started with our call. All right. I always like for you guys to like just nod your heads if you can see the screen. Can you see it? Okay, perfect. All right. So tonight's topic is how to either kickstart, restart, or reinvigorate your business in 2020. So if you maybe you are brand new here. A lot of you guys are newbies. You're just getting started. You might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed with all of this that's going on. We've got Team Cup. We've got all kinds of things going on. But you are ready to kickstart your business in 2020 and just kill it. The other thing is restarting. So maybe you started your business and life started to happen, or you've gone through a season and you maybe haven't quit, but you took a step back, or maybe you did quit and this is your comeback. Or maybe you haven't gone anywhere, but you're just feeling like, you know, you're going through the motions, and maybe if you just feel like you need a breath of fresh air for your business, you need to love it again and feel that life and light, and hopefully that's what I can give you tonight. So kickstart, restart, or reinvigorate your business. It would be cool. I like interactive things. I've got my teacher blazer on today. So if you like, comment in the chat, like, are you here to kickstart, restart, or reinvigorate your business in 2020? Let me hear it. All right. So getting started. So we have the vital behaviors, and I'm not going to go over some of these, obviously incorporate those a little bit, but I'm not going to go over the vital behaviors because you should know them by now. And honestly, I asked in Coach Family this past week, like, what are some topics that you would like to see on our team calls for 2020? And a lot of the things, like, they're vital behaviors, or they're things that can be found in Coach University. What I want to provide for you guys tonight is what I call my like elevated vitals. And I just looked around. I don't have my notebook where I took the notes, but it's fine. I'm fired up enough that I'm going to remember. But these are what I would call the elevated vitals that you should do. There are 6 of them to really kickstart, restart, or reinvigorate your business. So first things first is to reevaluate your why. I know we just did like vision planning. Hopefully you made your vision board, that kind of thing for 2020, and you know your why. Or if you're a new coach, you know your why. But I'm going to tell you guys, reevaluate your why all the time. And I want you to ask yourself, why did you start? Why have you kept going? And then especially if you've taken a season back, or, you know, you've been around and you've been at a certain level for a certain time, and like you don't feel like you're growing and you're ready to grow, why are you still here? And for me, these pictures tell 1,000 words. But the why I started, I put here on purpose because this is one of my first pictures as a coach. The picture quality, lighting, I'm holding like I did all the things. You guys, like, I am proof, if anything, of that you can make mistakes as a coach and not be perfect, but be really freaking consistent and like 10x a lot of things and be successful. So this was one of my first pictures. I have my shake in one hand and my energize in the other. And you can just see the difference in, like, you know, my middle picture. But that first picture, why I started, I honestly said no. And some of you guys maybe were that person. I signed up as a coach for the accountability. And because my husband's an accountant, and I had spent too many years paying for a gym membership that I did not use. So I decided, well, I'll just coach just enough to cover the cost of my shakes. Okay. So I want everybody, if you're on here, why did you start? Like, number one thing, and you may be brand new and that may be all you got right now, but why did you start as a coach? I'm going to pull up the chat because I want to start seeing some of these. I love so many kickstarts, reinvigorates. I love that. Okay, so cover the cost of shakes, make a supplemental income, help my mindset, to love myself, freedom, losing weight. I wanted freedom to cover the cost of shakes, the accountability, the discount, the accountability to help others, the community. I needed something that was mine. I needed a new purpose to be debt free, all of that community. So I think for me, it was the accountability, and I wanted to cover the cost of my shakes. Okay, that was great. And I got the accountability and I did help enough people to cover the cost of my shakes. But honestly, that would not have kept me going, not forever and ever and ever. That would have been just enough. I would have never advanced my business. I just would have had that goal. So that's why I want you to reevaluate your why all the freaking time. The second one is, why have you kept going? So if you're new here, you said kickstart. Why are you going to be here? I remember Ashley asked this on the first retreat I went with her, and she said, most of you won't be here a year from now. Why are you going to be here a year from now? So my next question, and I want you to also comment in the chat, you told me why you started, but why have you kept going? Or if you're new, why will you keep going? Okay, so you guys start commenting there. For me, my why I kept going was that little girl by my side. Because when I started coaching and doing all this, she was 5. And I felt like I could get away with the bad habits and the mood I was in, because little kids are really forgiving. But the older that she got, it was like the more of an impression. We would call it like the adjustment or rebound period. It got longer. The more of an impact and legacy my actions and behaviors were having on her. And I kept going because I needed to leave a different legacy for her. So I reevaluated and elevated my why. I was not showing up for shakes or accountability anymore. I was showing up because I needed to leave a different legacy for my daughter. And I needed to help other women do the same thing in their lives as well. So I kept going because of her. Let me look at some of y'all's. Let's see, I kept going because I realized I wanted to be done. So it looks like a lot of freedom, financial freedom, the results I had in the community. You started to see, it looks like a lot of you guys similar to me, you started to see the results, the influence that you potentially could have. It changed your life. You know it could change other people's lives. You want to help people and show yourself that you can succeed. All kinds of things. I love that. The results, the friendships, to improve my mental health and physical health, to be home with my kids one day. I truly believe in it, and I want to help other people. So then, we go from wanting to help ourselves and maybe other people to really other people. Why you keep going. For me, this picture is really significant because it was when I was doing a program, and at the very end, it was hard for me to finish. I was pregnant and didn't know it. I was so freaking exhausted. And by the end of the program, when they asked us, what does being 100 mean to you? My daughter's answer showed me that I had reached my why. She was like, Mommy, you said you were going to accomplish it, and you can do everything, and you do what you say you're going to do. And I realized that while I'm still going to continue to build that legacy, I can't quit. I won't quit, because if I do, I'm showing her and other women that it's okay to quit. It's okay to give up on your dreams and the life that you deserve to live. So I'm not going freaking anywhere with this middle why, but also my job's kind of done. Like, she knows. She has the legacy. I've planted the seed in her life. So for me, it's like, is that enough? Is that going to get me inviting on the days that I don't feel like inviting, or when life is hard and happening? So why am I still here? Okay. That last one is a picture of my husband. If you guys have ever heard me tell my story, he was super skeptical. He hates when I say that now. But that is us. He came with me and sat with me at Summit last year. Now he is not only my accountant, but he is my business partner and my biggest fan. He asks me something to keep me accountable and growing in my business every single day. So while I'm still here, it's still the other stuff. I still want to help other women, but my legacy is bigger than that. I want to help other women with not just getting healthy physically and mentally, but I want to help. If you guys aren't muted, please mute. I want to help women. Okay. I want to help women not just get healthy physically and mentally. I want to help women get healthy financially. So my goal now is to have star diamond coaches and elite coaches on my team, so they're pushing out a different legacy for their families and their communities. For my husband and I, we're able now I'm 32, he's 33. And I coined the phrase a long time ago because it sounded good, but now it's about to be our reality. Debt free by 33 with no mortgage. Okay. I haven't shared this yet. I get a lot of questions in my Instagram inbox about when are you going to start coaching full time? You know what I have now because of coaching? My why that I'm still here is the freedom to choose. So when this baby is born, I'm taking a 5-month maternity leave. And when I go back, I'm going back at a reduced schedule that I choose because I don't have to work for a paycheck any longer. So why I'm still here, I'm here to leave a completely different legacy now financially for my family. My husband, again, he's an accountant, so he brought home a spreadsheet the other day, and he's like, well, we've got Brenley's college paid for, and he had this spreadsheet of a plan of how we're going to pay for Blakely's college within a certain amount of time. She's not even born yet. But now I'm able to leave a financial legacy for my girls and their kids and their kids, and then these coaches who are building thriving businesses that I wouldn't be able to do if I didn't show up in 10X every single day. So I want to ask you now, my chat keeps going away. I want to ask you now, why you started, why you kept going, why will you still be here? Not 1 year from now, not 2 years from now, but why will you still be here 5 years from now and 10 years from now? Okay? So you guys start commenting that. But this is so, so very important. You've got to reevaluate your why. And when you get to your why, you've got to reevaluate and change it again so you can continue to go forward. And some of you guys, if you're not inviting because you don't feel like it, or you're still afraid, or you're feeling overwhelmed, your why isn't strong enough because it's not getting you out of bed and it's not making you take the action. My why is so strong that I know if I don't take the daily action, my why is not going to happen. Okay. So that's number 1 of our elevated vitals. Number 2 is to share your story and show up daily. And I want to dig a little deeper into what this means. Not just a play-by-play. I think some people think that they're showing up, and they are. They're doing the stuff that's on the activity tracker, the suggested stories, and they're posting daily, and they're sharing their journey and that kind of thing. But it's like this play-by-play of their life, and it doesn't dig any deeper. What I want you to do is to share, what I mean by sharing your story is to share your heart. This is where you relate. So you must do it in a positive and uplifting way. I joined, part of my story is I would not have ever joined Emily if she was just about side-by-sides and shakes. I joined Emily because she shared her journey in the midst of probably some of the greatest heartbreak of her life, but she was still shining her light and spreading hope. And I was like, you know what? If this girl can show up through this season, I can show up through my hard times too. And so I want you guys to ask yourself, if you search in Coach Family, there was a call that Ashley Laughlin did, and it was kind of this web of your struggles. I want you to do an inventory of your struggles and your rock bottom moments. For me, I had an eating disorder in college, so I can relate to people who have restrictive or binge eating behaviors or confidence issues, or maybe women that have never felt like they're enough is part of my story. Women who have had miscarriages or dealt with infertility or secondary infertility, working moms, all kinds of things. Like, those are parts of my story. Estranged family relationships, that kind of thing. I don't word vomit them everywhere, but I breadcrumb them, and I get vulnerable and I share. And I see coaches that are like, well, I'm doing all the things, but it's like, I don't know you. I don't feel like I know who you are. You know, with Emily, you hear, she paints a picture of her childhood. She brings you through that season of loss and waiting. With Ashley, you know, she talks about when she worked in corporate and how she had suicidal thoughts or wanted to take her own life. And, you know, people can relate to her, and you feel like when you look at their timelines and their stories that you know them, like you feel like they're friends because they share their story in such a way. So don't just check off the boxes. I need you guys to share your story. And I see a lot of people, you can tell they've done the struggle inventory and they share their story in a way that's like, you know, like anxiety or depression or whatever the season that you're in, and you know it, like it's there, but it's like it's in the valley. You gotta share what you're like, how you get to the mountaintop. You gotta share your source of light and life. So you gotta share the heartbreak, because that's where people are gonna relate, but you need to be the hope in the heartbreak for people. Even if you haven't figured out your season. When I started coaching 2 years ago, like I'm just now expecting my second child. A lot of my story, I was still in the valley, but I shared it in a way that people knew that there was light and hope. Even if you never got to the mountaintop peak, there is light and hope in the climb. And so that's what you have to communicate to people. Also, you have to show up behind the scenes and work on you. Some of you guys don't do PD, and it shows. It shows in your timelines. It shows in your stories. It shows when people aren't doing PD. I can tell coaches when their attitudes, it goes to, well, nobody's saying no, or it's a bad month, or whatever it is. If you're doing PD the right way, you're going to just self-reflect. You're going to do nothing but self-reflect. What can I do differently to make this work? Because it's working for other people. It's and not in the way like it's working for other people, it's not going to work for me. Like, it's working for other people, so there's no reason it can't work for me. So share your story and show up daily, but not in a way that you're checking boxes, in a way that you have such great purpose that you can't help when people are like, you're so motivating and inspiring and you're so strong. You want that to be your goal. And that takes work. You've got to work on yourself on the back end. You've got to get vulnerable. So that's my second one. My third one, and oh man, the picture went away. Okay, my third one, I didn't really know how to just emphasize this without cussing. So my third one, earmuffs if you have kids. My third one is to invite your freaking ass off, okay? We're gonna play a game, expectation versus reality. So the expectation is I'm going to post every day and people are going to start to come to me. The reality, people need a private invitation to the party. Okay. You guys have heard me talk about it before if you've been around a while, but Kate Schultes on one of the super weekend trainings talked about, it's like when you're posting on your Facebook, like on Thursday, I'm having a party tomorrow, everybody's invited. Okay, if I see that, I'm not showing up at the party, I would feel really weird. But if somebody private messaged me and is like, hey girl, I'm having a party Friday and we're all bringing our favorite dip and it starts at 7:30 and I'm gonna wear that gold sweater I have and will you bring that chicken dip you made because it's really super good and I really hope you'll be there. Which party invite are you more likely to show up to the party for? The private one, okay? Emily says it, the intimidation is mutual. People need a private message invite. Now you'll have some that'll drop the emoji or fill out your form or whatever, but the reality is people need an invitation, okay? The next expectation versus reality is when I invite, people will say yes. The reality of inviting is that most people are going to ghost you or say no or object. Okay. But I want you to have the mentality. So many coaches are like, well, I've invited this many and all I'm getting is objections. Nobody's responding back. That should be your indication that you need to invite more. You need to follow up more. You need to respond to objections more. I think, the objection is not a no. I just had a call with just my team and we talked about objections. An objection, if you're taking notes, write it down. An objection is an open door. If somebody ghosts are hard because there's nothing you can really do if somebody continues to ghost you and watch your stuff other than continuing to follow up and comment on their stuff and follow up and follow up and follow up and follow up until they either tell you to stop freaking message them or they join you. But an objection is a yes to me. I don't look at those as no. It's an open door. If somebody says, well, I don't have time, or I don't have the money, or it's just a really busy season, or whatever it is, I get the pregnancy objection now, and I freaking love it because I can say, me too. I'm 32 weeks, and this is perfect for pregnancy. The time thing, girl. When I started this stuff, I worked full time, ran a ministry, had a blog, was the Girl Scout leader for my daughter, took her to dance every day, all the things, right? We're all busy in our own way, but an objection is an open door. It gives you the opportunity to relate to the person. If somebody tells you that they can't afford it, first off, how vulnerable did they just have to get with you? They trust you on a level enough that they were able to just tell you that they can't afford it. Well, first off, most people say they can't afford it before they even know the price, right? We've had girls that are like, I can't afford it. And then you start talking to them and they are taking a bar class somewhere and they're switching to bar blend because now they get to pay a 10th for a bar class and they get community 24 hours. Objection, if somebody tells me that they can't afford it, I say girl, I was the same exact way, but I skipped a couple of lattes and Target trips, sold some clothes of mine and my daughter's that didn't fit anyways, and invited a few friends, and mine was completely paid for, and this hasn't cost me a single penny since. If somebody truly has a financial problem, coaching is the solution for them if they're willing to put in the work. They can get healthy for free. So that is inviting. Now, here is this just reality about inviting. What my team has seen over the past 2 years is for every 100 people that you invite, maybe 10, and this is optimistic, 10 people will respond and 1 to 2 people are going to say yes. So you need to make sure that your work matches your goal. And if you've been here a while, it's harder, okay? When you first come in as a coach, new people enjoy it because you have this warm market of people that are acquaintances and friends and that kind of thing, and you're inviting those people. But there comes a point in your coaching journey that not only are you inviting and you need to invite your ass off, but you also need to expand your ass off too. You got to get it. You got to follow hashtags or places or engage with people or follow them and post content that strangers are going to follow you back, and you're in your, and I don't like to call it this, but you're in your cold market, right? So, but this is the reality. You've got to make sure your work matches your goal. So if you want to hit, you should, if you are going to hit your non-negotiable as a coach of Success Club 6, helping 3 people per month, you need to be sending out 300 invites at least for the month. So divide that out. I invite Monday through Friday. So if you divide that out 20 days in the month, because you take weekends off, like, you know how many invites you need to send every single day. And if you miss a day, you got to make up for that, or you're going to pay for it down the road. I usually, coaches are like, I'm doing all the things, I'm inviting 100 people a day. And it's like, okay, but what were you doing last week? Like last week, were you going through a hard time? Because there's a lag period. It shows up a little bit later. So if you're struggling now, were you struggling a week or 2 weeks ago? But this is the reality of inviting. Oh, none of my pictures showed up. So these were like these little pictures of 100 circles. And so if I can give you guys homework, like get on Canva and just like do 3, if you know success, whatever your goal is. So if Success Club 6 is your goal, if that's your goal really should be 10, because then you'll hit 6. But whatever your Success Club goal is every month, you should have that many circles or some type of system to show you had that many touches. If you're SC 10 and you need to help 5 people, then you need 500 circles that you're going to check off by the end of the month. So make sure that your work matches your want. Okay. Now here's my invite formula. I'm going to read you guys my Hey Girl, and I change it from time to time, but to me, it's not necessarily exactly what you say. It's that you're inviting the right amount of people. So here's my invite formula. First things first is you want to greet them in your own style. So if Hey Girl's your style, great, use Hey Girl. Hey, I have people that do Hey Friend, and I can literally picture that person saying Hey Friend because that's their style. Or they'll say hey and then insert the person's name. That's personal. But you need to greet the person in some way. Then you want to thank them. Thank you for following my, whatever your journey is. Right now, mine is my pregnancy, fitness, and faith journey or something like that. But thank them for following along on your journey. You're opening it, you're greeting them, you're opening up positive. The next thing is tell them what you have to offer them. Now, do this in a very short and sweet way, okay? So for me, my Hey Girl looks a little something like this. Hey girl, thank you for following along my faith, fitness, and pregnancy journey. I wanted to see, and I added this because I get a lot of coaches, if you're not already, if you'd be into joining one of my challenge groups, or you can call it whatever you want to call it, boot camp, challenge group, fit club, whatever, accountability community, make it you. To grow in confidence and faith and get healthy from the inside out. That's what my group is about. If you go in Faith Over Fear Fit Club, that is what you're seeing. You're seeing mindset, community, all of the kind of things. We'll focus on nutrition, motivation, accountability, working out, and support. I picked those words strategically. This is what I do as a professor, word choice and communication. Short and sweet, excited, upbeat, not word vomit. And you pick those words strategically that are those pain points. You're picking at their pain points in a positive way, letting them know that you are their solution. And then the next one is ask them. Let me know if you or anyone would be into it. I'd love to have your positivity in this group, or how does that sound? Or can I send you more information? Whatever it may be. But your invite should end with a question. Okay. Emily said that on the Success Club. That was some of her call last week. That was some of her feedback. So you always, whatever your invite is, and all the steps in your invites, you always want to end with a question so the person knows you're expecting a response back from them. So that is my invite formula. Let me just look at the chat too. Okay. If you guys want to comment your invite in the chat, feel free to do so, and you can look at ideas of other people's invites. but there is mine, but that is my formula. And I feel like some people try other people's invites and it doesn't work for them because it's not genuine. It's not what their challenge group is about. When you send somebody your invite, they're going to go to your timeline. They're going to go to your timeline. They might look at your stories. And if your social media content doesn't match what you just invited them to, if they don't already get the feel for that from your story and sharing your journey and your light and your hope, they're going to be like, meh, this is a hey girl. This is one of those MLM girls. Like, no. So to make your invite genuine, you've got to all the step before this. Okay. All right. Number 4, no more freaking excuses. Okay. Done. DONE, done. As a team, let's be done with making excuses. Some of these excuses, these are the most common ones that I hear in and outside of our team. But if you've ever said these, like, let's just take them out. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. I'm not sure what I should be doing. No one's signing up. Everybody's saying no. I have a lot going on right now. My spouse isn't supportive. I'm worried about what other people are going to think. Okay? If you have, and you guys can comment, like, have you said any of these? Or which one are you guilty of? Or which one are you feeling now? I promise I'm not going to be ugly. If you're feeling overwhelmed, like, there's no lack of resources. It's just resourcefulness. If you're feeling overwhelmed, and I can get this way. If I'm feeling overwhelmed and I'm procrastinating, it's because I'm not taking action. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, take the simple actions that we show you. All you have to do to be successful is the vital behaviors. There's only 4. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with Team Cup or this dash or this training or trying to watch all the calls, do the vitals. Do the vital behaviors every single day, and you'll feel less overwhelmed when you take the action. I don't know where to start. Like I said, I posted in Coach Fam and asked, like, what were some topics for some team calls? And it was very, very evident that either some people haven't done Coach University, or maybe they need to go back and redo Coach University or you need to like search in Coach Family. And I'm going to give you guys some exact calls and resources at the end of this call, but like Google it. There are coaches that have incredible trainings and stuff on YouTube. Most top coaches put their trainings on YouTube and they're out there for you to look at. So if you don't know where to start, like Coach University and the vital behaviors. If you're not sure what you should be doing, Success Club, the vital behaviors, Success Club. And I'll talk about some other stuff, but if you don't know what you should be doing, like ask, right? Or look at the team page, look at your resources. No one's signing up and everybody is saying no. And with this, I think this is the most common one. Or I'm running out of people. The same number of people are watching my stuff. If no one's signing up and everybody's saying no, like, have you invited every single person on your Facebook friends list and your Instagram followers at least 3 times? Have you invited every single person in the United States, the UK, and Canada? The people who are saying no, are you pushing back on their objections? Are you saying, hey, do you mind if I, like, thank you so much for your response. Do you mind if I ask you what's holding you back right now? And then people will open the objection door to you. So to me, my phrase that I repeat over and over and over is the dam will break eventually. The dam will break eventually. If no one's signing up and everybody's saying no, it's my job to just invite more. I'm going to invite more people because there are people out here that still need this. There are people that are still depressed, still anxious, that have no energy, that are overweight, or all of the above. Like, there are still people that need you. You have to find them. I have a lot going on. With that one, there are people busier than you or who have the same exact life situation, number of kids, job, circumstance, whatever, making your dreams come true. Let that soak in. We all have the same hours in a day. So you have to decide, are you going to sit down and let your circumstance be an excuse? Or are you going to let your circumstance be your reason and take responsibility and get organized and find the time. Okay. I personally do better when I am busy, because when I'm off for the summer or it's an office hours day, my schedule's flexible. I tend to tell myself, well, I'll get it done later. I'll get it done later. But when I'm busy, I have to get it done during the window. I have to get it done or it's not going to get done. Right. So to me, I think busy can be an advantage. Busy is relatable. Everybody thinks they're super busy. When I teach at the university, time is everybody's greatest value commodity. Whether they have time or they think they have no time, everybody thinks, time is their greatest value commodity. Show people time, like having no time and being a busy person is your opportunity to step up and stand up and be a really good coach and show people that they can do it in their busy season, just like you're doing it in your busy season. My spouse isn't supportive. You guys, I think Emily talks about her husband in the beginning. I talk about mine. To me, communication is key. And so you guys, like if you have a spouse, if you don't, it's probably easier. No. But like with the spouse thing, use it to fuel you. Like I remember I asked Julie Voris in the beginning when I first started coaching, how do you get a spouse who doesn't believe or is unsupportive on board? And she told me, money talks to men. That's what she said. I didn't expect that answer, but she said money talks to men. And so it's true. And I realized early on, for me to get my spouse supportive, I had to show him the results. I had to show him my mood was improving because of this community and accountability. I had to show him what was getting deposited consistently in our bank account every week. But also it took me prioritizing as well. Early on as a coach, I put my phone down and turned it off. Now there was a season of imbalance and I got a lot of eye rolls, but I had to put my phone down and turn it off when he got home from work, right? I had to prioritize my time and take responsibility for getting that support with your family. I mean, I feel like sometimes your family and your closest friends are the last people to support you because they know the version of you from before, right? They're not a stranger on Instagram just seeing your motivation and inspiration showing up. They've seen you in all your seasons. So it's going to take longer to convince some of these people. Use it as fuel, okay? And then I'm worried about what others will think. And this, one of my biggest phrases is the greater your faith, the greater your belief in this, the smaller your fear. You have to have a purpose and a why. Go back to step one. You have to have a purpose and why so big that you don't care what other people think. And it stings because I've had some nasty messages in my inbox or people behind my back. But I know at the end of the day, I stand strong and firm in what I'm doing. I believe in what I'm doing and I know my heart and my why. So it doesn't matter what anybody thinks or says about what I'm doing. Okay. These right here in love these are called limiting beliefs. Okay. That's the nice way to say it. But they're excuses. Like all of these things, somebody else had them too, and they overcame them. And now they have the dream that is yours. Okay. Next one. If you don't know, figure it out. So Google it. Again, like I said, some of the things that you guys wanted to hear about in the coach fan page, like I don't remember ever having calls on a lot of this stuff. I just figured it out because I knew I needed to. So if you don't know how to expand on Instagram in 2020, because Instagram has totally changed their algorithm and there's so much you can't do now, like Google Instagram engagement strategies 2020 and figure it out and fail forward and try new things. Search the team page. Look in the previous calls. If you don't know how to invite, like Inviting 101 is there. If you don't know how to navigate back office, the way I learned back office is I went into back office and there's all these little blue question marks beside everything. I just went to every single section in back office and kind of looked around to figure out what things were. And if I went to the compensation, I went to the sponsorship drill downs, I went to things and clicked those little blue question marks to figure out what they are. Like, get the best way to learn sometimes is to get in it and just learn it. Searching the team page, reading the company FAQs, all the scripts that you see, those scripts come from, it's just me or whoever created them has taken the initiative to go look at the FAQ and put it in their own words. And so that, like, that's all that is. The FAQs have a ton of stuff. The national wake up call, there are usually questions that's like, they have announcements at the beginning of each national wake up call, and it's like, gives it away. You're not watching it every week because that was in the national wake up call. The national wake up call and this team call should be two of your priorities every single week. Whether you watch them live or the recording, that should be a priority. If none of those work and you still can't figure it out, Google, YouTube, the team page, the FAQ, the national wake up call, comment in the team page, comment in Coach Family. Somebody, there's enough of us in there that somebody will help you out. Comment in the team page, or see how other successful coaches are doing it. All of those limiting beliefs that I had, there, like I said, there are people showing up every day on social media, paving the way and showing the examples of how it's done. So don't copy them, because you can't, like Doug said in our first call, you can't be, no one else can be Ashley Molstad, but you can see what she does and emulate it in your own personality that's true to you. Finish Coach U. If you're sitting here and you have not done Coach University, it's Tuesday. By Sunday, finish Coach University. Okay. And don't, because I think a lot of people watch the videos and then like they keep going. Do the homeworks and take them to heart. Those homeworks aren't designed just to do one time and forget about them. A lot of those are things that you do and it's supposed to set the foundation for you to continue to do those things every day. And honestly, you guys, I've watched Coach University and gone through it myself. I just put in a different email. I've gone through Coach University 3 or 4 times. And every time I go through it, I find another nugget and find something new. I mean, Emily and Ashley spent a ton of time on Coach University, and it's valuable information that is still relevant today. Go back and watch Coach U again. I know every time I have got, it's sparked new ideas, and it's relevant still, and it reinvigorates me. And then when all else fails, ask, okay? Because, the biggest thing is I have new coaches. On my team, I think it's a huge testament to this stuff, because I have coaches that have a couple that have gone from Emerald to Star Diamond within 30 days because they implement inviting their asses off. They were already doing the other thing, but they implemented that. I have coaches that have gone from start to Star Diamond in less than 60 days because they don't wait to figure it out. They either Google it, they search it, or they ask, okay? They're not afraid to ask. And I think sometimes we get stuck in the overwhelm and we don't either go find the action or we don't ask. So action is the number one thing. If you don't know, figure it out. And then the last one is have fun with this business. If it doesn't feel fun, you're doing it wrong. This business should be invigorating. This business should be addicting. Like, I have trouble sometimes putting my phone down because it's addicting helping people. It's fun. Like, no, do I love working out every day? But I love the way it makes me feel. I love knowing that when I am showing up on a day where it's hard, like my alarm clock didn't go off this morning, but I still did all my things. I made it more of a point to show people that I got my business done in pockets of time when I was in the waiting room for my OB appointment. I still did my workout this afternoon. And, last week, my family, my daughter and my husband were out of work and school for 6 days because they both had the flu. And I got messages from people like, it's so inspiring that you're still showing up when, your family's sick and when I started not to feel good and that kind of thing. Let it be fun. It should be fun. It should give you life. And if it's not, I want you to go back to step 1 and I want you to reevaluate your why. And when you're reevaluating your why and you know your why, and your why is going to not only get you started, keep you going, and keep you here 10 years from now, that's going to get you to do the action. Sharing your story, that's when people are going to feel connected to you. That's when they're going to trust you, that kind of thing. You got to work on your mind. You got to do personal development. I know it sounds stupid, but you have to pour into your own mind. And you guys know, I mean, I feel like I have my Inviting 101, and tonight I was going to just redo like Inviting 101 2.0. But I felt like all of this other stuff was important because you can still invite your ass off and not see results if you're not doing these other 5 things. And so, but inviting is the key, inviting with a positive mindset, because people can see straight through when you're checking boxes, and being realistic about the invite. And the excuses, like you have to, I have people that they know their why and they're doing their inviting, but there's always something holding them back. There's always some type of limiting belief or some type of excuse to why they just haven't let the floodgates open and they're not full throttle. And so you've got to eliminate all excuses, because if you're making excuses, whether it's in the foreground or behind the scenes, the people that you attract are going to be excuse makers as well. And like I said, figure it out and have fun. So I'm going to look at the comments a little bit. And if you guys have questions, please do start to comment questions. Let's see. So Erica said, someone recently asked me if I thought some of the social media strategies shared in New Coach U might be out of date. True, but Google it. And I plan on going back and rewatching it again very soon. And that is one thing as a coach that like part of our job is social media. I mean, you can still do face-to-face. I think people forget the art of that, myself included, but social media, I mean, that's what, so when I teach, I'm business communication, social media marketing, that landscape is always changing. Like what worked last month on Instagram isn't working this month on Instagram. You have to stay up to date. And the longer that you sit in an excuse, like, well, the same people are watching. The longer you sit in that excuse, like the people that are trying out IGTV or valuable hashtags or expand 531 or whatever. And if you don't know what any of that is, Google it. But social media is an ever-changing landscape. So it doesn't matter how many times we redo Coach U, the social media aspect of it is going to always be changing. So that's a great point. Let's see. Kayla said search FAQs in the coach back office too. Oftentimes I get questions that are right there at your fingertips. Yeah, and honestly, I've started like the kind of coach that I want to work with is the coach that is willing to go figure it out. And so for me, I don't even don't babysit your team. You guys are building teams and some of you guys leaders and you have people ask you questions, like just send them the link to the FAQ and make them read it, right? Or we get the Coach Insider every month. Like that is a list of all of the important FAQs for the whole month. If you're not opening and reading and studying that email, you're not doing your job as a coach. You need to be informed. Let's see if there's any new questions. I'm putting to the universe, I need to work on time management. And that, you know what, Brianne, time management was going to be on here, and I wish I had put it on, and I'll just add it now. But you have to be responsible for your time. This was a gift from Emily, and it's a planner, but everybody can have something similar. You can do it on a piece of paper, but I love it because it has the date and it has like morning, afternoon, and night. And this is how I've always kept inventory of my time. Like I teach Monday, Wednesday. My Tuesdays are a lot more flexible. So I always put, like, you should start out your day right down from 5 a.m. until whatever your bedtime is. So 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. I do it in 30-minute increments. And the first things that I put on there are like, I block out teaching. I block out getting ready in the morning and taking my daughter to school. I block, then I'll like the stuff I have to do, right? I block out my priorities, like from 5 o'clock on is making dinner, eating dinner, family time, putting Brinley to bed. And then there are pockets of time in there that, okay, I know I'm doing a program that's 30 minutes, so I'm going to get my workout in here, or I need to wake up 30 minutes earlier to get my workout in. And then I schedule, okay, not just pockets of time as they come along. I schedule pockets. Like today, I knew it was going to take me some time to sit in the waiting room. I know every day that when I go pick Brinley up, I have to be in the car rider line at 2:10, and they don't let the kids out until 2:45. I know that's a pocket of time that I get every day. Time management is your responsibility. And if you leave time to it just being there or feelings, you will seemingly run out of time. Okay, you'll get up in the morning and you'll start scrolling people's stories, and before you know it, it's time to get in the shower and get to work, right? I do that. So I have to take inventory and responsibility of my time. Time management is huge, because if you don't control your time, it will control you and you'll feel like you have none of it. Let's see. How do you respond to potential clients who say they're too busy right now? Me too, girlfriend. Like, relate. You always want to relate to somebody. So if somebody says I'm too busy, what I will do is I will go to their timeline first, and see, like, so who are they? What do they have going on? Like, if they have kids, how many kids do they have? Can I tell what their profession is? And then I relate to them, not just because sometimes I think you can say, oh, me too, and then it just sounds all about you. But I think an effective coach would go to do an inventory of their social media and be like, oh my gosh, me too. And then relate in a way that they're going to be like, oh my gosh, how did she know that? Like, she just got into my soul, So I think when somebody says that they're too busy, go do an inventory and see who they are, what they do, what can you pull out about them that you can relate to? Because I think all of us are busy in our own way. And I honestly think that busy, we wear it like a badge of honor. But busy, usually, like, you're bound to an excuse when you say that you're busy, but relate to people in love. All right. Okay. I think that's everything. So those are my elevated vitals. Hopefully this has been useful. I know it was a little bit of tough love stuff, but I think as coaches, like, we just have to live in the reality of, my husband says that this job, while it has a lot of freedom and flexibility, it doesn't mean that it's easy or that as coaches we can be lazy. There are still things that we have to show up every day. We have to show up despite the season. Like, yeah, we get flexibility within the day of when we need to do things, but this business is something that you need to do every single day, because if you're not showing up at least Monday through Friday in people's inboxes, what makes you think that, what is going to make them trust you and think that you're going to show up for them as their coach, right? You need to lead by example. So anyways, we have extreme flexibility. This business is awesome, the trips and the glamour and all of that, but none of that comes without the hard work, the mindset, the mentality, and these daily actions that make you successful. So hope everybody has a great night. Congrats again to Ashley and fam. And don't forget about, it's not too late for the Team Cup. And anything else, like, be asking questions in Coach Fam, whatever. But good luck to everyone. Good night.